Nikko, welcome to the Koutas Show.
Hey, what's up?
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, honestly. It's your haircut, dude. It's obviously not your shirt.
I wanted to get my hair cut yesterday, but Sports Clips wasn't open, and I decided I don't want to get an expensive haircut anymore. You know me.
The drip.
Yeah, that's what I save my money for.
The drip.
That's
Save
right.
your money off Starbucks and buy Dunkin', right?
Nope.
Don't buy either.
Starbucks is my sponsor, so I can't say anything.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a fun one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where'd you even get that Dunkin' shirt, by the way?
Dunkin.com. You can get the pants, too. I didn't get the pants. They sold out.
Is this like the Matt Damon?
This is actually a year before that. That was this year. This was last year. Or maybe this was 2 years ago. This was during COVID.
Okay,
So
interesting.
I wore this to a White Sox game back when they did, if they scored in the 4th, 5th, 6th inning, you got free Dunkin'. And I wore this, and I was like, oh, the cameraman, they got to see me. They're going to, I'm going to be on TV. They're going to hit a home run in the 4th inning. They're going to be like, this guy. Never happened.
Never got on TV, huh?
No. I checked. I went back the next day and looked, and didn't happen.
The Sox are not doing so hot this year.
Yeah.
How does it feel being a Sox fan knowing that they have probably broken the record of the fastest 100 losses season?
How does it feel that they broke a record? Pretty good. Pretty good.
Have you seen their tweets?
Ever.
Have you seen their tweets about their scores?
Yeah.
They're awesome. I love it. It's like the Sox final score has been posted on ESPN.com or whatever. The Sox game has been posted or whatever. There's a couple of them that are really good.
They gotta have fun.
Yeah.
You can't lose that many games, and then like if you think you're gonna win games and then you do this bad, you're gonna feel bad.
Right. So you
So
might
you
as well
just
just
gotta,
have fun while you lose a bunch of games the entire season.
Yeah.
And also have some chocolate milkshakes with it too, because I'm pretty sure that's the highlight of their entire season.
Did you get one? Did you go?
I didn't get one yet. We didn't go.
I went and they were sold out.
Yikes.
Didn't get one.
Brett said that they were pretty good, but it was like individual milkshake making, which took the line forever. You remember when he told us about that?
I do.
Yeah. That's tough. What do you think the best ballpark food is, though?
At the White Sox Stadium, guaranteed rate, also one of my sponsors. The Cuban sandwich, the Cuban Comet, there's 2 of them,
Okay.
2 stands, and they're pretty good.
Mm.
So it's ham, cheese, pork, pickle,
Sauerkraut.
mayonnaise, no sauerkraut. And then they cook it on a little bun, and they like, psst, psst. It's really bad for you, but it's good.
Those sound effects were amazing. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Psst,
I
psst.
feel like I was there.
I can do others like ice cream, so
That's pretty good, actually. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty good. Hey, dude, I like that.
And I don't know, popcorn.
I think Dippin' Dots are a go-to, especially when it's like warm outside. Dude, this is just an ASMR podcast of Nikko just doing
The ballpark food,
ballpark food
the hot
sounds.
dog. But
Glizzy season, bro. Jesus.
It's good. It's good. I get the hot dogs with the onions on them, the grilled onions. You ever had one of those?
Sauteed onions or just regular grilled?
I don't know what
Softer or more crunchy?
they're caramelized
Ooh,
and
yeah, those are fire.
crunchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. They're not like crunchy. They're just
On
like
hot dogs, you're saying? Or?
yeah. They're just
Yeah.
like when they cook, they take the onions and they just pss with the oil. Pss,
Yeah.
and
Sauteed onions.
then
Yeah, they're good.
it's good stuff.
I'm just gonna start naming food items and you gotta just do a bunch of sounds.
What is it? What else do you got? Another food item.
Let's do
Lettuce.
Let's
I got
do
lettuce.
chopping up some fruit. Ooh, that's good.
I don't know,
That's
man.
really good.
What fruits do you chop? You don't chop up fruits. You do an apples like, you know.
I cut strawberries.
Yeah, but strawberries
Apples,
like a
pineapple.
yeah, pineapples like, you know.
We gotta take out the core too. You gotta do the little.
It's pretty good.
Can't, bro. This is too golden for me. I just can't. No, it's good. So other than the Soxs, you're a big you a big Cubs hater?
There's nothing else in my life other than the Soxs. So
other than the Soxs and Dunkin, right?
And Dunkin, and Starbucks, my sponsor, but also Dunkin.
Yeah, Bagel doesn't exist.
Bagel is my dog. That's it.
What noises does Bagel make? Let's.
Not many actually.
She does get scared.
She gets scared, but she doesn't like make noises. She barks now sometimes, which is like okay. I don't know. Dogs, they make noises, but it's not like she's like, ruff, ruff,
Yeah, I got you.
That's what they do. She doesn't make food. She eats food. She,
Yeah.
I could do eating food.
You can't do barking though. It's
Barking
just
like,
ruff, ruff. Interesting.
And then if you like really get her scared, she's like,
Yeah, I do know. I do know. She's a very frightened dog though, it seems like. Has she gotten used to more human beings being around or no?
I think she likes Dad now.
Okay.
She like lets him pet her, which is nice. But I think she's fine with people, mostly. Kids, we don't really know. She jumps at kids when she's in her leash. So like we'll be walking farmer's market and stuff, and she'll like jump on the kids. The parents are like, "Don't do that.
Don't do that. You're a dog." Blah blah blah.
And I'm like, "I'm gonna let my dog jump on your kid.
Yeah.
Get your kid out of here."
How was puppy training? So which puppy training did you go to, and is it actually worth it?
So we went to PetSmart. Dog journey. I'm gonna go through the whole journey. Day 1. No. But we did. We got a dog in December. We got a dog, Bagel, in December. She's the best. Bagel is a whole. Come on. And what did we do? We went to PetSmart for a class that was on Saturdays, and it was good. She didn't really interact with the dog. She was pretty scared to be there. We had to like pick her up and like put her down in the class, and she would always like hide behind us and stuff. That was like the start of her training, and that's how like scared she was of like other dogs and stuff. And then we went through like 3 classes of that, and then actually we had to leave. That was when I went to, well, the 4th class I was like super sick and Allie was gone, so I was like, not bringing you, Bagel. 5th and 6th classes I was in Florida. That's when actually everybody except for you came down to Florida. That was back in like January. So that was a cool experience. I drove down, me and Cal drove from Chicago down to Nashville in a day with Bagel in the car, and then down to Valdosta, Georgia, which is just on the border of Florida, Georgia line, also one of my sponsors. And then we drove down to the house on an island, which is just south of Tampa, north of Fort Myers, somewhere right in between there, called Englewood, Florida, for you people who like geography. Side story, but that is why we missed classes 5 and 6, and class 6 is a graduation. And originally they were like, "I'll come back and make up the classes." I was like, "Oh, I missed 3 classes. We're not coming back." So Bagel was a PetSmart dropout. So that's what Bagel is. And then we took her to Phil's Pup Camp, which is a like March Animal Hospital in Central Road, Arlington Heights, is where this guy does dog training stuff. And Allie's mom had done it before, and she was like, "Oh, let's do it together." So we did it together. First class, she kind of played around with the dogs a little bit, but she was mostly just there like learning things, and she improved a ton. In fairness though, we had done those PetSmart courses and we were like training her and stuff. A lot of the other dogs, this was their first class, so like Bagel was like already ahead of the game. But she did pretty good, and then we signed her up again for the advanced class. She did not pass in the first class. They do like a test at the end. You go to Lowe's, and there's a criteria of like 8 things that you have to do, and she did all of them except she won't let people like touch her. Like you're supposed to be able to like inspect her paws and look in her ears and stuff, so like mock stuff that like a vet would do or something like that.
Right.
She didn't pass. So
she just like nip at the people that were trying to.
No, she doesn't nip, but she just like like you'll go to touch her paw and she's nope.
She's pulling away.
Pulling her paws back, and you go to touch her ears and she's like, that's how Bagel does it. And So she dropped out of her first class. She didn't, and then she didn't graduate her second class. She tried and failed. And then her third class, there was no test. But we just finished up her third one, and it went pretty well, and she did good. I mean, she doesn't, like, I say it went pretty well. She did pretty good. She doesn't, like, listen to us anymore. So it's like, she, like, listens, but she's used to, like, training and stuff now. So she's like, okay, I know how to get treats, and I don't have to learn new things. So, like, what am I doing? So the last couple of classes, she would just like not pay attention. We do doggy push-ups where you ask them like sit down, and they're like, doing little push-ups. And after like 3 of them, she's like, I don't need to do this. She's like, if I just sit, I'll get a treat. So like, I'm not gonna do this. And then we would lose her. And then for the rest of like the half hour of the remaining hour of the class, she just wouldn't listen to us. So, but it was fine. It was fun, and she got to play with a dog named Toast. So Bagel and Toast.
That is amazing.
They got to play. They love each other. She was she's smaller than Nala and more of a puppy, but similar to Nala in coloring and like size. And they would just jump around and stuff. And that's, I think, why now whenever we come here, Bagel loves playing with Nala, is because she sees like big golden dogs and it's like, that dog will play with me.
That's awesome. And Bagel and Toast.
Yeah.
She probably thinks Nala is Toast, but she's not.
Yep.
She's Nala.
I'm sure she knows who Nala is, but I don't know.
Yeah. That's cool. I mean, the doggy push-ups thing is probably the hardest thing to teach. It's like the sit down, and they have to keep going up and down. Yep. I remember Nala was doing that, and we got to like 10 or like 15, and some dogs could barely get 2, like you were saying. Yeah. It's tough. So you did just the beginner class? Is that it?
We did PetSmart puppies, beginner obedience training at Phil's Pup Camp, also one of my sponsors, Phil's Pup Camp, and PetSmart. I have a lot of sponsors. I get paid like nothing. My rate is super low. If you want to sponsor me, and then the advanced obedience at Phil's Pup Camp, which is the one that we just did, and we want to do Phil's Pup Walking Camp, which I think we're going to sign up for. But I don't know if we signed up for it. I mean, it's not actually to like train her things. It's just to like get her out socializing in like a academic environment, so she can like train her brain. Yeah,
be a scholar.
Yeah, she's pretty dumb. She's a pretty dumb dog.
Yeah, but she needs friends to hang out with also, because she can get that social aspect and stop being afraid of people. Because she's a lot better than she used to be. But, But like that frightened dog aspect of a rescue dog, right? Yeah. Yeah, they're always tough. Nala's the same way, but Nala's like a puppy, so she never really had like any scary aspects. It was just like a puppy born in the wild with a giant crowd of other puppies, and they just were like, all right, well, you can't just live here in the woods of Texas, so let's find you guys some good homes. So that's good. And then how's wedding planning going? That's pretty crazy. Best. Is it as bad as people think it is?
I don't know. It's not bad. Allie does everything, so I can say it's not bad, and she'll be like, it's bad. And I'll be like, okay, cool. You got this. Let me know if you need help. Don't let me know, though.
So you have no input on it?
No, I have input. I mean, I don't know. She does a lot of stuff. We went toured venues together. Getting a venue's a big thing, right? Yeah. And then you can pick your date, and then you can do everything around that. The big thing I did was I got the DJ. So you're going to be ready for the DJ.
That's important.
He's going to be pretty good. Allie was like, this is the DJ company. They're pretty good. Okay. I just need these are the DJ names. I need you to call this guy so that you can see if his voice sounds like a voice of a DJ/MC that you would want at your wedding. So I called this guy, and I was talking to him about just like a bunch of stuff, like random DJ stuff. Like one of the questions that I asked him was like, do you play the whole song or do you cut off songs like right away? And he was like, it's a good mix. You got to have a good mix. You got to, play the song a little bit. And then if people are feeling it, you keep it going. If people don't like it, you switch it up. I was like, that's cool. And his voice is pretty good. And he was telling me all this stuff. And I was like, all right, that sounds good. So we booked this guy. So I had direct input there. So if the DJ's bad at my wedding, don't tell me. Because that was me. No, but otherwise, like for real, yeah, Allie's done a lot of this stuff. So. Yeah.
That's fun.
It's gonna be good though.
Yeah, so you're just kind of along for the ride and enjoying the fun of the wedding planning.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's not stressful for you at all. Sounds like.
It's a little bit stressful. We spend a lot of weekends. We're getting stuff from like Facebook Marketplace, and so people who have already gotten married, they like we have like a bunch of like fake flowers and like vases and candle holders and all these random things for like decor and stuff, because decor's expensive.
Yeah.
Like you plan all these things that you know are gonna cost money, and then they're like, oh, by the way, like decor is like thousands of dollars, and you're like, I guess so, but like
I could spend $250 on Marketplace and get plenty of good stuff.
Yeah, so that's what we've been doing, and it's been fun, and Ellie's been finding good stuff, but yeah. So yeah. I do some of that sometimes. So like sometimes randomly in the day, she'll text me and be like, you gotta go here and pick this up, and I'm like, okay. Then I go there and pick it up, and the people are like, hey, talking to you all day, how's it going? And I'm like, I have no idea what we said at Messenger. Like Ellie was typing to you, because it's for my Facebook. So people will see me and they think it's me talking to
but
them.
It's Allie the entire time.
And they're like, oh, that's a funny joke you had. And I'm like, no, that never happens.
That never happens. No
they just
way.
give me the stuff and I leave. That's all it does. No, there's no. This is 2024. You do not interact with people like strangers. Like no,
especially on Facebook Marketplace. No, it's definitely no. Have you ever used Etsy before?
Oh yeah.
So I feel like Etsy's a big wedding venue, like aesthetics kind of stuff that would definitely help out.
Oh yeah, people have recommended it for sure.
Mm-hmm. So. There's a lot of customization, signs, etc. that you can use. So like, you've got anything special from there? This is from Etsy as well.
Nice. Etsy sponsoring Jacob's show. See, I got you a sponsor.
Yep, secondhand sponsor. Nikko sponsor is actually Etsy, and I just got it from him. You know.
Mas by Messi.
Nico's also sponsored by Mas by Messi.
Yeah, there was a slogan somewhere. What does it say? Oh, here we go. Next generation hydration.
Next generation hydration. Mas.
By Messi. Now served at a local Dunkin. If you ask.
At a local Dunkin.
I don't know. Maybe not.
After you train your puppy at the puppy trainings. And then after you go to the Etsy shop and the Facebook Marketplace.
Dude, these names are ridiculous. Look at these names. It's Miami Punch. Sure. He's now in Miami. So, yeah, I get that.
They're ridiculous.
Orange d'Or, like Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, Orange d'Or.
Orange d'Or. And then Berry Copa Crush.
Berry Copa Crush, like
Copa?
Copa America, yeah.
And then Limon Lime League.
Like La Liga, but Lemon Lime.
Then why wouldn't it be Liga?
I don't know.
I get it. I just don't like it.
Okay. There you go. There you have it.
It makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Like if I had an energy drink or a hydration drink, or if you had a if you had a hydration drink, the names would be stuff like Muscle Milk.
Sure.
That's it.
That's it. It's just called. Actually, I have a company called Muscle Milk.
Forget the Muscle Milk you know and love. This is the new Muscle Milk that you don't know and you might not love. So try it.
But it's 0 grams of protein and all electrolytes.
That's correct.
I feel like it'd be like something with golf. I guess lifting as well. Yeah. Soccer. Yeah. And then I guess talking, of like podcasting, I guess. So I guess lifting would be like, I don't know.
Dumb. Like dumbbell.
But just dumbbell. Just dumb.
Dumb and then in parentheses bell.
Yeah. I like that. And it's just a dummy good drink. It's just dumb. It's dumb.
It's brown. I don't know what flavor it is, but it's brown.
Chocolate?
It's like, it doesn't need to be brown, but you put caramel color in there.
And then it's just like
Red 5.
And then it's blueberry tasting.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
And then we'll get like a black bottle and have it taste like lime or something like that. That sounds great.
See? And the black, that can be the golf one.
Mm-hmm.
You can call it Stiff Shaft. That's a good name for that.
Is it though?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. So we got Dumb Bell in parentheses.
Yeah.
Stiff Shaft.
That's right.
There's a brown and black so far.
Yeah. And the black one, it only comes in the tall boy cans.
Okay.
That are like thick.
Like the liquid death cans?
Yeah,
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Like the liquid death cans. And then the rest of your stuff
Would
is
be
sold in mini cans that are skinny. So stiff shaft.
What would the soccer one be? Kicking balls.
That's an easy one. Kicking balls. That could be good. With kicking in parentheses, so it's just balls.
Just balls. Oh my god.
That could be good.
Oh yeah, that could be really
and
good.
it'd be green.
It'd be green.
It'd be green
For grass.
for grass.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the gur is in parentheses.
Where does the gur come into?
Because it's for grass. For grass.
So it's
balls.
parentheses kicking
Balls.
Gur.
And then no parentheses gur. And then ass. So it's balls ass. That's what it is.
That is terrible.
That's a good name.
That is not a good name. And what about the podcast version?
The podcast version, dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire.
Yeah, and it would be a totally ripped off Waste Management logo on it.
It's just the recycling logo with like one little change to it.
Yep.
The arrows go in the opposite direction.
Yep.
That's for sure the logo.
And we would use really toxic chemicals that are like radioactive to make it like glow.
Like the drink?
and be glittery. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And it would be called, what do we call it? Dumpster fire?
Dumpster fire.
Yeah. And it would be like highly flammable. Like you have to put warnings on it.
Advertisements. Do not consume product.
Yes.
It's like in the water aisle.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, what's this? It's glowing. Oh.
And the flavor is used cigarette butt. That's the flavor.
That is, wow.
Yeah.
It's like the black jelly bean.
It's worse.
But worse. Because it's
really bad.
literally not consumable.
Yeah.
We're basically just going to put oil in there. And it's just.
That could be it. That could, crude oil. There's not enough uses for crude oil. I've always said that.
I don't think this is a great opportunity to use crude oil to sponsor a hydration
No, it
drink.
makes sense.
But then you just gotta put in the label a bunch of vitamins and antioxidants and all the 3 different electrolytes, and you're good.
We just fill a bottle up with crude oil and we drop one multivitamin in there. We just drop it in, and then
maybe a greens capsule too.
Yep.
Boom. Your greens of the day, your electrolytes.
See?
Unfortunately, you just die if you consume the whole thing.
and we put in one piece of broccoli.
Right. Yeah. Don't cook it. Don't mix it in. Just one piece.
And then on the label, though, we'll put 100% juice. See if people believe it.
Yeah, I don't think that'll get past the FDA.
I mean, I don't care about the FDA.
Is that not one of your sponsors?
No. The FDA, I would, if the FDA came and asked me to sponsor them, or them to sponsor me, however that works, whatever the relationship is, I would never sponsor them, just to be clear. And they would never sponsor me. What does FDA stand for? What is that?
The Food Drug Administration.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people that actually...
They can sponsor me.
The people that oversight the Food and Drug Administration, so people don't put crude oil and an electrolyte drink on the shelf.
See, that's just... I don't know.
Yeah. How do you enjoy your Tesla?
Oh, it's nice. It's great, yeah.
I remember, like, the first year that you got it in the winter, that you came across a problem that you never even thought of, and that was the charging stations freezing. How has that changed? Has there been more charging stations since? Do they break down easily? How hard is it to actually get yourself to charge your car publicly?
Well, that's what I'll say. I gotta say the Tesla is great. I love it. It's awesome. Did I pay a lot of money for it? I think so. Did I have the money? No, this is America. You don't buy things you can afford. That's no fun, right? If I wanted to do that, I'd go be responsible somewhere else. So anyway, in the winter, it's not great. The charge dies very quickly. So like the range is less, right? It can't go as far on a charge. You have to charge more often. When you get to your car in the morning, you can drive, like if you forget to warm it up, I haven't run into a situation yet where I've like gotten in the car and it's been like, don't drive me. Like I need to warm up. I haven't had that yet. I don't know if that's possible, maybe, but it does put a little snowflake when it's like, hey, the battery is like very cold, and it like, I don't know if it like limits your power or stuff, but it definitely limits the regenerative braking, and it just doesn't feel very good. And it spends the first little bit of time like warming up the the battery. So in the winter, you end up spending a lot of power just like to warm the car up. So like for me, I live in an apartment. I don't have a home, so I don't have the like charging at home. If you do have that and you can just like leave your car plugged in, like all these problems are solved because you wake up in the morning, your car's at 80%, it's all charged up. When you say I want to use this car in 5 minutes, it warms it up for you using the charge that's coming in, so your battery never goes down. For me, living in an apartment, I say, hey, I want to use my car in 10 minutes, and then it says, okay, cool, it's at 60% now. By the time I get there, it's at like 57% or something. I use 3% of the power in the in the car to warm itself up, and a percentage of battery is equivalent to about driving 3 miles. So think about that, like 9 miles of driving was consumed to just warm the car up in the morning when it's like 0 degrees outside.
And how much does that cost?
You know,
what do you think 3% is?
That's a good question.
It's like what, $1?
So I only know everything in the MPGs of my old Nissan because that's what I have all calculated and stored up here, which is 30 miles per gallon. Nissan Sentra, not a great car. Nissan is not one of my sponsors. Definitely not. So 9 miles equates to about like a third of a tank of gas. And a tank of gas these days is about $4, blah, 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 all this stuff. The Tesla stuff, the charge to get into your car is cheaper than gas. So that's cool. But it's not crazy cheaper. It's not like half price right now. When the price of gas goes up, I imagine the price of the electricity for the Tesla will go up a little bit, but not as much as gas. I think it's a lot less volatile, and a percent for the gas cost versus a percent for me there's a difference there, right? Like, because the number for me is lower. So whatever. Anyway, I don't know. Probably $1.
Probably $1.
Probably $1.
That's not bad. And then about this charging station, what happened with the charging station?
Oh, God. So, yeah, we were at, Dad and I were playing soccer Sunday mornings, the old guys. Great time. 60-plus-year-old men that are really good at soccer still, even though they're 60-plus. And so I'd go with Dad and we play, and it'd be great. We get there. The coldest day of the year. There was that 3 days. Every year we have like 3 days where it's freezing cold, right?
Usually beginning of February or end of January.
So one of those days, and it's like 0 degrees, and we get to the place, and it's at like 11%, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, by the time we get out of soccer, it'll be down to like 9% or something, because it's draining battery while it's out there, because it has to keep itself from freezing too. So like if the main control is going to freeze, it'll warm itself up to stop itself from freezing. Same thing with overheating. Anyway. We get to the car, and then there's charging out in Barrington, near where we were. But I was like, no, we can get home. Like, we will get back to our station at 4%. We can just charge up. So we drive all the way back to Rolling Meadows, the Meyer charger, and it's 4%. And we pull up, and all of the things, the little like cord things, are in the snow. And I was like, shoot. So you grab them. And you can't get them into the like charging port because there's ice that's built up inside. And I was like, oh gosh, okay. So we try a couple of them and they don't work. So we try to put them back up. Online, it was like, blow into it and try to melt the ice, or like put it in your car. And I was like none of this is actually going to work. Like, it's so cold that none of that will have any effect. So we're sitting around going 4%, 3%, 2%. We get down to 1%, and I'm like, all right, like, I'm shutting off the heating for like internal. We're just going to last as long as we can. So me and Dad are sitting in the car. We turn off the internal air, and so we're just effectively like sitting in the car using as minimal power as possible, waiting, because there was 2 stations that were being used, and we were like, okay, one of these people will leave at some point, and we'll just get the charger from them. And then we got very lucky because one guy ended up leaving, Dad saw it and was like, "Oh, I got it." So he ran out and asked the guy. He's like, "Are you leaving?" He was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Great. Like, just like as you leave, like let me hold the charger so that my son can bring the car over here." So the car's at 0%. Like 0% is what it says on the screen. I have the picture, and that guy leaves. So I pull out, back in. We plug the thing in. It takes like a few seconds because it's cold. So it's like trying to register like what's going on, and then eventually it starts charging, and that was great.
Wow.
So I was at 0%, and then I charged up, and then we left, and then later on, like Dad and I were like, "Oh man, like that was not good."
Yeah.
Because your car can die, and then you just have to leave it there.
Yeah.
And like people from Tesla have to come and like reset important things, because if it dies and it can't keep itself from like freezing, like important things will freeze. So what I did is after that I was like, this is scary. Not gonna let this happen again.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a road trip just after that to Nashville. I was gonna take my car. So I was like, you know what? Like I need to be prepared for this. So I bought a heat gun. People use for like painting, like painters use it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a little gun that looks like a like a drill, and you push the thing and it goes, and it creates like a little like,
Yeah, small cone flame. Yeah.
yeah. And I bought one of those
Just so
that,
you can melt the ice.
so I can melt the ice on the thing, and the door handles. People say that sometimes the Tesla door handles will
Like freeze over. Yeah.
So I bought that so that also like if you don't want to use it like on your car like too much, not too close, but if I needed to, I could just
It can generate enough heat far away. You don't have to put it directly on your car.
Yeah.
You can just shoot it in the general area, and you'll get enough heat to melt a small layer of ice.
And marshmallows.
In your car while you're driving.
Yeah.
You got to just don't worry about any safety hazards.
No,
that's a crazy story, because I feel like it's happened multiple times in the couple first winters of Chicago, where especially in the city where a lot of people are living in apartments, and the lines are backed up to the charging stations. And then the people that are trying to charge their car that are sitting at 5% and are 4 or 5 people behind are sitting there like, I might not even make it.
Yeah.
And it's like negative 10 degrees outside.
That's for real.
And if you don't have anybody else there, what are you going to do? You just kind of have to leave your car there, and there's just no way around it.
Yeah. The rest of the winter, I did not let my car get below like 10%. I was like, I'm not messing around with this. Like, I'm going to show up to the station with time to spare. Like, I'm going to wait for a charger if I need it. That's the real issue is in the winter, the batteries die quicker. So people need to charge more often. So the stations are more crowded. Because instead of you going once a week, now you're going maybe not twice a week, but like, every 5 days. And then everybody is crunching their charging time in. And then
it's like gas stations on the holidays as well. It's like everyone's driving everywhere for holiday plans, families, buying gifts and all that stuff. So you're driving more often to many places that are outside of what you usually do. So increases usage of gas, increases of miles. So therefore you're going to be needing to refuel more.
That's right.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. In terms of the Tesla, other than those issues, have you played games inside of it? What's the best features?
Yeah, they got features. They got megaphone, so you can sit in your car, push the megaphone, and then you talk, and the mic in the car projects your voice outside the car. So that's cool.
Have you scared people with that?
No, I have not. I used it on Mia yesterday. I scared her. Mia. She was like, "What the heck?"
And she just like looks around.
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely something you could use in the middle of like a highway or not like a highway, like a stop sign, and you could like a stoplight. You can use it for like road rage or something like that.
I think you have to be parked, so you have to like be quick about it.
Oh, you do.
But yeah,
it'd be cool if it was a quick setting and you could just turn on and be like, "Move your car,
get out of here."
Yeah,
I'm the police. You're obviously not the police.
I don't think you're gonna get away with that.
I get away with that.
So the regenerative braking though, like I know that you could turn it off, but how different isn't it driving an automatic car completely different than driving a regenerative Tesla?
Yeah, there's
weird?
no gears. There's no transmission. So here's the deal. My last car had issues with the transmission. My current car has no transmission. My last car had issues with the brakes. My current car, I never use the brakes. You only use the gas pedal. You let off the gas pedal, it brakes the car.
Yeah.
You've
Is it
driven
just,
it. You know how
so
it
it just
feels.
stops the energy flow through the system, and it
It's
just
the coil that is normally like propelling itself forward, like you're sending charge through it so that it propels the coil forward. Now it is doing the opposite effect where it is actively taking charge out, and as a result it is like trying to slow this coil down. It's like magnets and electromagnetism, and you put the thing through and it like makes the the charge induction, whatever.
good old induction.
It's been a long time.
Magnet through what is it, brass?
Yeah, like a coil.
Magnet through a brass coil, and then it creates electricity.
Yeah, you could look up a video of the like electric motor explained, and it's pretty cool, and I think it's relatively easy to understand. So it's neat, and that's the future.
It is the future. I think the biggest thing right now is that there's just not the infrastructure for it. I just think like it's coming. I like the problem you had with the charging station. Yeah. Like that infrastructure definitely needs to be a little bit tightened up so that stuff doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Because what if they had some type of heating mechanism on the charger itself, so you could take it off and then heat up the charger and then plug it in?
Well, so that's the thing, is there is a team of Tesla people where if you go to a Tesla charger and you say, hey, I had issues with this charger, there are people who are like service techs who are supposed to come out and they'll like fix all the things. Like if they're all in the snow and they're all frozen, like some guy will come out with equipment and like heat them up, put them back, and then like that station's fixed for like the day probably, and then maybe if the freeze happens again at night, then they have to come back the next day. I don't know. But they do have that, and the day after when I came back, it was still just as cold. All the stations were up and running, and I never had that issue again. And when we did the trip to Nashville, it was very cold as well. None of those stations had an issue. So they're figuring it out. But generally, yes, EV infrastructure, it's not there right now. It's up and coming. There are a lot of nice benefits to having an EV, but certainly the drawbacks will be probably much less. Like there probably will be less drawbacks in like the next 5 years when they figure more things out, hopefully make better batteries, stuff like that. Quick charging is another thing.
I was going to say the charging, like sitting at a place and charging your vehicle for 30 minutes is like, once they can get that down to say like 10 minutes or like the basically the length of a stop at like a gas station for a long trip. If you like stop for gas, you go inside, you get snacks, you come back out, like that whole length of the trip, if they can have the charging be complete by that length, like that 10 minutes it takes to go inside, go to the bathroom, grab a snack and come out and go on the road again. Once they make that length of charging the same exact time, I feel like no one's even going to bat an eye of what the difference is between EV and gas anymore.
See, I solved my own problems.
But I think that we're not there yet. Where the batteries aren't there yet. Infrastructure, like you said, is not there yet. And you need the supercharging stations for that to happen in the first place. And there's just not enough of them. But
yeah,
we'll get there. I'm surprised they don't have sunroofs on the top, like solar panel sunroofs.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one thing I was surprised that they didn't have. But I guess that'd probably be a lot of money.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It should be regenerative, like car itself, so that like it shines on the car and then it like can charge while it's just sitting outside.
That would be cool.
So that's my idea. But then they have the really nice sunroof that you can see everything out of, which is super cool. It's full sunroof, right?
Yeah.
Is that an option, or does every Tesla have that?
You can't. I mean, you can't get it without it, so it's not really an option. It's like it's standard, but it's also like people might not want it, but it's there. So I don't even notice it, right? Because I sit in the front. I'm in the driver's seat all the time, so for me it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But for the passengers, like I don't know if it's cool or not.
It's really cool. If you're driving through the city, it's insane because everyone like looks through the sunroof and you have to kind of peek around, but instead you just can look straight up and you can see the entire buildings head to toe. Like it's a full-fledged view. I haven't driven at night with it, but I imagine if you're driving through like cornfields or through like urban area, like not really city areas, I feel like if you looked up and saw stars and there was not a lot of light pollution, I feel like that'd be really cool too.
Or you can just get out of your car and go look at the stars.
Yeah, I mean, you could also do that, but
you got options. You got
options. You can look through the Tesla.
By the way, we forgot to mention it's 4 a.m.
Yeah, we're grinding. We're workout people.
That's right.
Is that what we wanted to say?
That's what we wanted to say. Yeah.
Yeah,
I gave Jacob some lines before this.
We don't
remember
sleep.
your other line?
Nico is the best person in the world.
There you go. That was the other line.
Yeah, that was it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay. Oh my God, thank God I remember that.
Yeah. 4 a.m. We grind. Hustlers. We don't sleep. If you're not grinding, you're. I don't know.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Come on, man.
Yeah, it's interesting. So
Grind set. What's your grind set? Biggest mental hustle
grind set mindset.
mindset. What do you got
Me?
for the fans?
Uh,
Big time Koutas Show fans. How do you do it? How do you do it every day, man?
just
What do you do every day? How do you get up and motivate yourself?
stay hard. That's it.
That's right.
David Goggins.
I don't know who that is, but yeah.
Oh, you don't know who that is?
I think you showed me a video. or
Ultra
something
marathon
before.
runner, Navy SEAL.
What's an ultra marathon? What's that?
Ultra marathons are running that is 100 miles plus
Oh my god.
in one setting. So it's like you run 100 miles in one
100?
race and you don't stop.
100 miles an hour. Wow.
Yeah. No, not 100 miles an hour. 100 miles
Oh my
in
god.
one go. You have to qualify for these
in
races.
1 hour.
You have to. No, not in 1 hour. 100-mile race.
I would hope you have to qualify for a 100-mile race.
Yeah,
I couldn't
you have to
qualify for a
run-
1-mile race.
You have to run 100 miles in 24 hours or have run another race similar to that
Wow.
in order to qualify for some of these races. Badwater is the most gruesome of the lot.
Well then,
It's 136 miles, and it's in the hottest part of the year, and it's like about 110-degree index outside, and you have to run through that. The biggest thing, though, is like with ultramarathon running is that people bring extra shoes, they bring socks, like they bring all of these equipment so they can change their socks, they can change their shoes, they can like change their shirts, they can get like the hydration they need, like the food that they need. There's specific hydration, specific food. There's so many things that you have to do, and if you don't do these things, like you're going to, number one, have the most blisters on your feet that you might not be able to walk again. You might break your like ligaments. You might
right.
break bones, like the small bones in your feet,
that's right.
because you're just going so long. That's why you need to have like the right equipment to do this, and that's why you have to get qualified.
Most runners don't bring a life alert with them. I think it's a good idea.
Have you seen the Apple Watch Life Alert stuff?
No, but I'm sure it's better than the life alert from the ads. on the TVs.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
See?
Yeah.
If you're a mile 99 and you trip, they're not getting up.
Yeah, they are.
You kidding me?
100%. David Goggins is getting up. 100%.
Okay.
He's not.
Okay.
He's not finishing that race.
Okay.
That makes sense. Double negative there.
Yeah.
No, but the Apple Watch one is crazy. If you get in an accident or whatever, it automatically calls 911 and everything. And soon, I think Starlink is gonna add 911 and emergency services for all devices for free.
Wow.
So every device across America would have, and I'm pretty sure, hopefully the world would have 911 or emergency services, calls, everything for completely free,
That's cool.
which would be awesome.
That's cool.
Because you can get that in areas, because it's obviously
Well, what if the police can't get you? What if you're like, hey, 911, I'm on a mountain, and they're like, yeah.
helicopter.
They're like, we know. We know you're on the mountain. We told you not to go up there. And you're like, you going to help me or not? And
They're
like,
always gonna
"No."
help, dude. They're always gonna help.
Okay.
I mean, do you know their dedications, their vows? It's to save every human life. That's how it is.
The police?
Paramedics mostly.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, if you call 911, they're gonna transfer the paramedics and they're gonna get you out of there and try to save your life.
All right.
That's like doctors.
What if, hypothetical, the guy on the mountain they find out is reincarnated Hitler? Are they saving him? Reincarnated, he gets a second chance at life. But he has all of the same issues.
Yeah, oh my God. Where does this come
And
from?
he has made his motives very clear.
Oh my God.
And he's up on the mountain. He tripped. He was doing an ultra marathon.
And he tripped. He was up there with David Goggins.
Yeah, they were both up there running together. And now
He's screaming, "They don't know me, son."
Yeah.
And And then Hitler's just like, wait, what?
I'm just saying, are they getting him? Are they gonna go get him?
They do say that they will save every life.
All right,
That's
you go.
what they say.
There you go.
But that doesn't mean that the cops aren't going to arrest him after they save him. Be like, listen, well, you can't do any bad things. We know what you've done in the past.
Yeah, that's a problem with reincarnation.
The biggest, dude.
The biggest.
I run into that problem every week at work.
I know.
Oh my god.
I know. I talk about it on the daily. People are asking me like, "What is troubling you?" And I'm like, "Oh God, don't even get me started."
That reincarnated guy across the hall, definitely the lizard from my my first grade project that died. He's got vengeance on me.
Yep. Yep. He's one of those lizard people.
I had a feeling that was coming.
Oh yeah, the lizard people are here, man.
You think they're real?
I don't know. I don't even know what that means. I played Skyrim though.
How does that relate to lizard people?
You can be a lizard person in Skyrim.
I guess you could be. I've seen those characters before.
Yeah.
They're weird. They look like alligators though, but more than lizards.
You go play Skyrim and you're a lizard person. What are you naming your character?
Me?
Yeah. He's a lizard guy and he's great at magic. And he is 6'7", which is not tall for lizard people.
Okay.
I don't think. We're gonna pretend that's not tall for lizard people.
My name it's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gonna be definitely not a lizard person.
Okay. That's a good name.
That's it.
That's a good name.
That's my name.
What about Rhizorb?
Rhizorb?
Do you like Rhizorb? The lizard person?
Dude, where does this come from?
It's the lizard person. That's his name.
Rhizorb. I've never heard of the name Rhizorb, and I don't know. That's interesting.
You don't know enough lizard people.
What was your actual Skyrim character's name? Did you ever play?
I don't know. I played. Yeah, I was a regular old human because I'm boring, or
I don't remember what I was.
Whatever they call it. And I remember like the second day playing the game. I was actually what I remember the first day was we went to the midnight release. Me, Ross, Tyler, and got the game. It was on 11/11/11. That was cool. I think. Pretty sure it was 11. I don't know. That was fun. And then showed up to school the next day. We played until like 3 a.m. and then we went to sleep and then we went to school the next day.
Yeah.
Showed up to school the next day and like no joke, this guy that I knew and we saw at the launch and then I saw him at school the next day. He was like, "How many dragons have you killed?" And I was like, "What?" It's like, "What are you talking about, man?" It's like, "Yeah, how many dragons you went to the Skyrim launch? How many dragons have you killed?" I was like, "I don't know." Then so a month and a half later, I kill my first dragon. Okay. This guy literally 7 hours after the game came out, he went to school the next day. Within the first 7 hours of having the game, he's killed dragons. Multiple, because he asked me how many I've killed. And then a month and a half later, I kill my first dragon. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you can go through the game so many different ways.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to touch up there is that there's no more midnight releases anymore.
No.
That was one of the best things growing up as a kid is that it was Tuesday night? Wasn't it Tuesdays?
I think so. Either Monday nights going into Tuesdays or
Tuesday nights. I remember it being Tuesday nights. You would have to go to GameStop, and there would be like 100 people at GameStop to go get this game.
Yeah.
And then they would like lock the doors, and then like they would about like 7 p.m. and then they would get ready for the midnight release, and then they would unlock the doors at midnight and then let people in and buy it. And it was like the coolest thing. It was like if you went to the midnight release, it was like, "Oh, your parents let you go last night? You got the game? How is it?" Like, you were the talk of town that next day. But now it's like, it's just, let me click download on my computer.
I mean, I don't even know if it's like that anymore. I don't even play games anymore. So for me, it's
100%
nothing.
like that.
But yeah.
It is. It's just like, the game's released. It's out. It's just weird. It's not as nostalgic as you getting the game in your hand, holding it, and driving home 10 minutes and freaking out about how good this game is going to be. And then you get to plug the game in and then actually play it. So much better that way.
I remember that.
It felt like you actually earned it, even though you earned it either way, even though you bought the game either way.
Yeah.
And then also back in the day, they used to actually give out some of the craziest gear with the higher end tiers of the games. Like we have the Modern Warfare 2, like extra deluxe edition. Goggles? And you get night vision goggles, and they actually work.
That was cool.
That's insane.
We still have them.
We do, and they still work.
I think they're right up there behind you.
Yeah.
In the closet.
And they still work. But nowadays it's like you buy these $100 games and they just give you some extra maps or something like that, or like a skin that's like a launch skin.
It's all about the skins. That's why the lizard people are coming back.
They're coming back.
It's all about the skins.
They're coming back. All right, last thing I want to touch up on
skins.
is I still don't believe that it exists. What do consultants even do?
They don't do nothing. No, I don't know. What do I do?
What do consultants do?
What do consultants do? Sometimes nothing. Sometimes you sit in meetings all day and you think, how can you be in meetings all day? And how can you be the most important person in the meeting every day? Not most important person, but like absolutely necessary. You know, it's like, how can you actually be required to be in these meetings all day? But it happens. And then 5 o'clock comes around and it's like, okay, well now you can start your day. You can start doing all the work that you were supposed to do that you didn't do because you were in these meetings all day. So that's what they do.
So they just capture you in meetings all day because you're so important, and then you have to actually do the work on the end.
Yeah. But here's what they actually do. What I do in my job and what a lot of consultants do is people tell you their problems. They're like, hey, here's what we got to do. You know, I got to do this. I got to do this. I don't know how to do this. Can you help me? And you say, yes. Yes, master son, I can help you. I will help you with your problems. Tell me your problems.
Please tell me that's exactly how you sound in these meetings, because I would love to. I would pay to see that.
Yeah, and they're like, well, you know, my problems is this and this and this. And then I say, I will capture your problems as requirements. I will do that. And then I capture them. And then I capture them, right? I'm like, gotta get this, you know.
Gotta catch them all, those problems.
Exactly. No. So that's for real though. What we do is we like take into account all their requirements. They're like this. And I'm like, got it. Because the truth is, when people are running these businesses, like, everybody has their job, and then the people next to them have their job, and the people next to them have their job. When it comes time for like 6 people to get together and say, we all contribute to this thing, and this thing needs to be better, those 6 people cannot just like get together and come up with a better thing. They have to like bring in consultants to sort of like work with those 6 people to create something that will be better, and then bring it in and like implement it for them. And then those 6 people are like, oh, we have this better thing now. So it's really just about the fact that businesses work in sort of, they call them like silos, right? Everybody does their own thing. And not that you don't care what the person next to you does, but like you care about your problems, they care about their problems. But you need to like sort of take all the problems into consideration, come up with a solution that addresses most of them and still works for the business, and then implement that. And that's where you just like need consultants. It's also because consultants are like not like, you know, full-time employees. So you don't have to worry about like, if you go do a project and then you're like, great, everything's fixed, you can go now. It's like, if you hire an employee, you just got to fire that employee. No, you got to find something else for them to do. Right. So sometimes it's like, you just bring on a consultant because you're like, yeah, I want you to fix this, but I don't actually need a person.
You don't need a full-time process.
An FTE.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. It's boring. All that stuff is boring. My job is really boring. Yeah.
But you help a lot of people excel their businesses and make a lot of money.
Sure. Kind of. Yeah. What I do.
If you don't, then I guess you're not doing good at your job.
That is true. That is true. If you're a consultant, you cannot add value. You very quickly do not become a consultant. Like, that's just life. But what was I gonna say? Mutually exclusive, cumulatively exhaustive. MECE. Have you heard MECE before?
I have not.
So it's a cool concept, and they call it MECE frameworks. It's like a little buzz term. What it means is, what did I say? Mutually exclusive, which is one with the first part of the word. So that means I have 2 things, and everything that is in this bucket cannot be anything that is in this bucket. So if I have mutually exclusive things, you know, and I'm putting balls into buckets, if I have a ball, it has to go into this bucket. It cannot go into that bucket. Mutually exclusive. You cannot have like people who like soccer and people who like football. There can be no one in the group who likes soccer and football. The group in the middle likes both cannot exist. Mutually exclusive. Only people like soccer. Only people like football. If you're using the English terms, it's a problem. Football,
Right.
football.
Right.
And cumulatively exhaustive means you've got everyone. So soccer, football, right? There's other sports, so that doesn't work because there's baseball, there's tennis, there's all those other things. So if you get to a situation where you can put all of your buckets out there and get all the balls into each bucket, where each ball goes into exactly one bucket, mutually exclusive, cumulatively exhaustive. It's a perfect system. It might not feel like it means anything right now based on the way I laid it out because I'm really bad at explaining things, but that is a huge design principle. And so designing frameworks that work that way, to standardize processes and all that stuff, it's just cool. It's just a no-brainer. And it's the value that I feel like I bring to clients when I show up. And they're like, we don't know how to do this. And I'm like, well, that's a piece of crap because you're not doing this. And then I show them this. And then at first they're like, that's a piece of crap. And I'm like, yeah, but this piece of crap is organized. And they're like, oh, okay. And then slowly over time, they buy into it. By the end, they're putting Misi all over the place. They're like, that's not Misi. We can't be doing that. And then the trick to Misi, though, is you can always just put an other bucket in. So it's like, I want people who like red flowers, blue flowers, yellow flowers, and other flowers. And it's like, boom, right there.
You have everything included.
Everything. Because you got other.
It's like the miscellaneous section in a budget.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, we'll put it in miscellaneous.
Yep. See, we do budgets. We do big time. That's what I do. Right? That's what I do all the time. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's the worst.
It's the worst.
No, it's fine. It's good.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, if you can bring a ton of value to a lot of employees and a lot of companies and a lot of people, I mean, you can get paid a lot of money. If you can obviously 10x anyone's business, they're going to pay you
Don't say that.
a lot. But if
What
you
does that
can
mean?
if you can even 2x someone's business by just
I don't want to hear
having
2x someone's
things
business.
be easier.
No, I streamline
Allegedly.
your process, and then
Allegedly.
you get a 20% increase in efficiency. No,
Allegedly.
no 2x, no 10x, no, none of this is happening.
I mean, over time though, that definitely increases by
Yeah,
2x if you have 20% year on year growth.
I would say most of the time when we go to work for companies, it is not, I want to grow this, I want to do this, I want to do this. They don't want to pay for that. Like, they
Right.
want to do that. It is, hey, we grew too fast, and now we have all these problems, and I had literally the people that I hired to do this spend all day doing this because if they don't, the business doesn't function. And then it's like,
Mm-hmm.
they're in like a pickle. They're like, oh shoot, like we need something because we're stuck. And then we come in and we're like, let me get you out of this bind. And then we build them something that, like, in theory would take away jobs, but like these people are just trying to get their old job back.
They're trying to actually do
That's-
their job.
That's what I tell myself at night so I can sleep. No, I don't know. I mean, that actually is true though. Like, usually it is the other situation where like they are stuck. Like, they grew fast. Like, these are successful companies.
That just like exploded, and they just like, we need help doing this process here because this person is supposed to do A, but they're doing C.
Yeah.
And it's like, we need that to change.
Yeah. So it's growing pains,
Yeah.
and we alleviate their stresses, their pains.
Which is good. It's valuable. Very
Very-
valuable. That
very
way people
valuable.
can actually do the jobs that they want to do in the first place and applied for, which
Yeah.
makes people happy.
I want to do that.
You're just bringing people happiness.
That's not true. If I wanted to bring people happiness, what job would I do? I would do.
Dunkin' sponsor.
I could be a Dunkin', like a barista at Dunkin'.
Every day.
That would be great. When I go to Dunkin', I'm always smiling and happy. These people are like, "What is wrong with this guy?" Come to the drive-thru. They're like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Yo, man, like, I'm just having a great day. Like, I would love to get a coffee." They're like, "Yeah, you're at Dunkin'. Like, of course you want a coffee." And I'm like, "Sorry, man, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Like, I just really would like to get a coffee from you. Can you make me a coffee?" And they're like, "Now it's a little bit weird. Like, you made it personal. Like, I am going to make you this coffee." And I'm like, "Well, I hope so. because I came here for you to make it for me. You know, that's why I go to Dunkin'. If I could make my own coffee at home, and I do, I would, right? But sometimes I'm just like, you know what, I want the Dunkin' coffee, and they make it for me. And then like you open up the little lid, and there's like the heart in the foam. That never happens. That never. If you go to Dunkin' and you get that, wow. Like, no. Like if I franchise a Dunkin', I'm doing that.
What is it? A skull instead of death skull?
Yeah, it's like crude oil with like one one multivitamin in it
and broccoli
and a piece of broccoli to like garnish the top. You know,
that's
like,
exactly.
like a little cinnamon pie. It's like a broccoli.
And then they put the foam on the top with the little cinnamon sprinkles, so it looks good on top.
Exactly. And they put a straw in there.
But the straw, you're eating crude oil.
Yeah, the straw like doesn't go in there because it's like thick. You know, it's like not easy to drink.
Oh boy.
So that's So
that's what Nikko does.
That's what if I could have my dream job serving crude oil to people at a franchise Dunkin' that I own. Yeah, I'd have my dream job for about a day, and then I'd go to prison.
That is very true.
Yeah.
I need to bring in like a gasoline tank into the back. I had a little special in for you. I got you a second one for free. Here you go.
We watched a movie yesterday called Roxanne, Steve Martin comedy from like the 90s or something. It's not very good. But I take that back. It's okay. It's a fun movie to watch. It's on Prime Video until like the end of the month, so it's almost off.
Another sponsor.
Another sponsor, Amazon Prime. Yep, Amazon Prime and Netflix. I got both of them. They don't know those, so as soon as they find out, I'm losing one of them. So, but he works as a chief for a volunteer fire department, and there's one funny scene where this guy, his jacket is on fire. The firemen are really bad at their job. It's a volunteer fire department. So there's a bunch of them, they're really bad. One guy's jacket's on fire, and he's like, hey, Steve Martin's like, hey, your jacket's on fire. And he's like, ha, good joke. And then he keeps walking, and then his friends are like, oh, your jacket's on fire. And then he's like rolling on the ground. And then right before the camera cuts to the next scene, you see guys with like big buckets about to like pour it on him, and Steve Martin's like, not the gasoline. It's great. It's a good scene.
Oh, that's good. Best comedy movie? Probably what? Airplane, Step Brothers? What do you think?
Best comedy movie.
I think we've lived the Step Brothers movie out basically, minus Boats and Hose.
Yeah, I like Step Brothers. Step Brothers is good. I don't know if I wouldn't even say it's the best because I don't like watch it a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas movies that I like a lot that are like really dumb because I like really dumb comedy is like Shaolin Soccer, like not even a comedy, like that's a true story. I like that. I like Mystery Team. I like the Pink Panther movies, 1 and 2. I'm a big fan of Pink Panther 2. I wish they made another one, but I understand because they're honestly not very good. So why they made 2, I don't know.
V know nothing. Now you're up to speed.
Beyonce in number 1.
Beyonce wasn't number 1.
Big deal.
It's the Yuri, the trainer who trains.
That's right.
Yuri, what do you do? I train. You're Yuri, the trainer who trains. I see. That's such a good movie.
I like that movie.
What about like the other guys?
That's a good movie. It's a great comedy.
I've quoted that movie so many times and people don't understand what I'm saying half the time.
Yeah.
Like whenever I say the way the cucumber accents the water.
In such a way.
And he's like, I was very much looking forward to the cucumber water.
I've got a choice for you boys. Mamma mia. Or
Jersey boys. He's like, oh, this is great.
You really undersold the pageantry.
We got bribed again. It's a phenomenal movie. That's probably my number 1 comedy.
It's a pretty good movie.
Step Brothers is up there too. I mean, you just can't get the Catalina wine mixer. It's just so good.
That is good.
It's the best. But yeah, I mean, Pink Panther 2. They're just the dumbest comedies in the world, but they're just absolutely fantastic.
Most people would disagree, but most people just kind of suck. So
they don't understand true comedy.
It's all right. They don't get it.
When he's flipping on the wall and his front side and back side are the 2 different colors of the drapes.
That's good.
Absolute cinema.
It's good.
Absolute cinema. And how people think that actually could get away with like not being able to be seen. Like If you're walking down that hallway, you can 100% see somebody that's on the wall taking their arms and putting their arms against the wall. Like that's why I love those movies, because they're just so dumb. But it makes it good.
They're pretty good.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else?
I don't know. It's almost 5 a.m. So
We gotta do our 100-mile run at 5 a.m.
I watch it.
because they don't know me, son.
Yeah, they don't know me.
That's right. All right.
5 a.m. grind set mindset. We got to end it with quick fire lightning round.
Okay.
Grind set mindset tips for people. All
Okay.
right. I'll start. I'll give you 2 tips, and then you give me a tip. Ready? Tip number 1: only drink water on days that end in Y. Tip number 2:
Oof.
never listen to tip number 1. All right. What do you got?
Tip number 1: outwork your self-doubt.
I don't understand.
Tip number 2: have no self-doubt.
Got it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So you can never outwork it.
That works.
Yeah.
That works. So I can be lazy. Am I allowed
Exactly,
to be lazy?
because there's no self-doubt, so then you never have to overwork it.
That's great.
So then you can just be lazy all the time.
I like that one. Tip number 3 on my side: ice melts into water. So knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
See?
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Have you ever
Did you know that about ice?
I did not know that about ice. I did not.
Now you know.
So what happens when it gets colder?
I don't actually know. So you're going off script. Don't ask questions that aren't, come on. You're going to make me look like an idiot.
Dude, I saw this one thing where it's like, did you know that water below 100 C is actually not boiling water? Isn't that concerning? And it's just like, it's like, have you ever seen that guy's Instagram reels?
I don't think so.
It's hilarious. He's like, but then after it gets above 100 degrees, it's now boiling water. Isn't that concerning? It's like, he's just like so serious. He's just like nodding his head. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. Am I up next?
Oh, that tips? Yeah, we
Oh.
need a grind set mindset tip. Mine was about ice and water, so yours has to be pretty good to top that.
Yep. Let's see. I got a couple. What are you thinking?
Are any of them related to Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3?
They are.
Okay, I figured they were, so that's why I wanted to check.
They are.
Okay.
Let's do this. Make sure you collect all the letters in skate first.
Yep.
Before you ollie.
That's a very difficult thing to do, but I believe it.
That's a grind right there.
Yeah, that's
a grind. Set
mindset.
Grind set mindset.
Right, grind. Like on the skate. And then
Grind set mindset. No, for sure. Sound effects come full circle. I love it. All right, Nico. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you. This is hilarious.
thanks, man.
All right. Appreciate you, bro.
Okay, cool. I'll lean over here. Real far. Together. Nice. All right. What do I do? Are we done? Do I sign off?
Yeah. You can sign off if you want.
Hey, yo. This is Nico checking out. My man. Got all my sponsors up with me. Don't forget to get your Starbucks coffee. It's very good for you. They put vitamins and stuff in there. It's very good. I don't know. Have a good day.